I should probably put the matte box on if I want to talk about it. So basically, I love this matte box. Just overall, I'm happy with this and I'm gonna be using it a lot. All right, y'all, it is windy as out here. My number one gripe with it off the bat is too many bags. I would love if they would just give us one bag to do everything. I hate that I have to try to figure out how to throw these bags into my bag, which is already packed full of too much shit. First impressions off of this, if you're watching this, you guys probably have seen my reviews on the variable ND by PolarPro. Compared to other filters, there's some cleaner options than the PolarPro one. I wasn't sure if this was gonna have the same issue as the polarizers. I will say off the bat, the 2 to 5 kinda does, but it is a little bit better. But the 6 to 9 for daylight stuff, as you guys can see, big blue skies, it matters, is a lot cleaner. But anyways, build quality, first impressions. The build quality overall, I feel like it's a new modern approach to a matte box. It's very different than a traditional matte box. People don't like this because there's proprietary filters, which I don't mind. You look at other matte box systems, it's gonna be like 2 to 4 times the price. Overall, the build quality feels pretty great, but if you do try a more expensive matte box that go from $1,200+ they do feel a little bit more robust, but they're also more heavy, and they're built for a little bit more of like, if you're working with like a big team with bigger cameras. For me, the way I film, I'm not on that level yet. And so this does the job perfectly. I think anyone that's like an indie filmmaker, you're out there shooting for brands and you're kind of doing a run and gun, even if you're doing smaller narrative stuff, you're out in the elements, this is gonna be a great system, which again, is why I wish they had a better case. Most of us who are using this are probably those type of filmmakers, we just need a more simple case that just carries everything. So the reason you want a matte box is, personally with me, I'm always out in conditions like this. I find myself having to use my hand to try to block sun rays and stuff from getting into there. Some people like that look, I like that look, but I like it when I control it. I don't want my lens being diffused randomly. Because if you notice, if you know how to color grade and you go in there, you start losing control of your image just because your lens is getting blasted out. There's light bouncing all over the place and you're losing color and contrast and clarity and sharpness. It's just, you're killing the quality of it. So that's where the top flag comes in. So what your top flag does is basically, if you're trying to film a shot and you have top light coming in, whether you're lighting it, if you have artificial light, sometimes it's trying to cut into the lens. If you have the sun like this, you can simply just lower the top flag and control a little bit more. Also the sides, this is the part that I love about a matte box the most personally, but this just really helps control the contrast. This is what really, it kind of kills all the ambient light from hitting the lens, the edges of your filters and the edges of your lens, and it's just, it's the most control that you could try to get. So again, just overall, this is an insanely actually like great option. If you were to try to build out a variable ND matte box system, you're gonna probably spend $2,000 to $4,000. PolarPro, somehow they get it to where it's actually pretty affordable for what it is. They also have hard stops, which I would love to test because I personally love hard NDs over variable ND filters, because once again, I'm out in these conditions and it's these type of conditions where variable ND filters really start falling apart for you. Now downsides, if you're anyone who like shoots anamorphic, we need diopters. PolarPro is not really thinking about anamorphic shooters, I understand that. And there's no way to put diopters on here. I will have a future video coming out though, because I'll be testing out some stuff and hopefully it works out, fingers crossed. So another thing, again, I already touched on this, too many freaking cases. I really have no clue why they did not give us a case, just one big case that can hold everything, or give us an option to do it. And again, most people that are using this are probably indie filmmakers or solo filmmakers having to juggle their whole kit out of one bag. So it would make more sense for us if we had one case. Another issue, there's no hard stops on the variable ND filter. If you don't have a strong contrasty LUT on your monitor, sometimes you could get the variable ND a little bit too strong and you don't notice until you go grade it. And if you do more of a crunchy grade, that sky starts falling apart. So it'd be cool if they just at least gave us markings when we're beginning to approach that polarization issue. I don't even know if that's possible from the physics of it, but I kind of feel like it might be possible. That leads into the last issue, but real quick before that, lens caps. For the screw-on adapters, I would love just to get a bunch of those and keep them on all my lenses and be able to put a cap on those. There are 95mm sin caps that you could put on there, but I'd rather that they just give us an option that we could just slap that on there. Even if they sold it separately, like that would be badass, but they don't. So you need to go out and you have to find your own version of something like that. It'd be awesome just to throw our lens back into our kit and just put a lens cap on it and not have to mess with changing out these filters nonstop. Okay, now the last issue, which I've gone over in other videos with the variable ND issue. 2 to 5 filter still has that issue. Now, you could kind of cheat it to not going all the way to its strongest ND. So really, to me, the 2 to 5 filter is more of a 2 to 4 filter, which is fine because that's gonna be more for like indoor use and maybe shadow use. But when I'm outside like this, the 6 to 9 is actually pretty freaking clean. I'm not seeing any of those weird color issues or anything like that on there. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So basically, I love this matte box. Just overall, I'm happy with this and I'm gonna be using it a lot. Build quality is amazing. The filters, I don't have an issue with them being proprietary. I said it right. Pretty sure I said that right. And yeah, it's clean and it's light. That's awesome. That's it, guys.